Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm G&G and this is episode 53 of the University Challenge here at UCD, and today we are doing an end of season review for season 4. The 2025 season is in the bag and it's been a good season for us really. It's showing 2 trophies here. We've actually won 3. It's showing here the President's Cup and the FAI Cup. We also won the Leinster Senior Cup, so it's been 3 trophies this season. The second place in the league and through to the knockout phase of the Conference League. Good performance from us this season and continuing to bring this club upwards. So let's start off by looking at the new arrivals this season, and the signing of the season goes to Cameron Ledwich, I think, is it? Cameron Ledwich getting signing of the season and came in for 200,000 from relegated Shelbourne, gets an A rating and really done well for us. 24 appearances, 17 substitute appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist and an average rating of 7.03. A good left back option as well as a centre back option, although he didn't do well in the Conference League at centre back, but I think that was just an all round poor team performance. So Cameron Ledwich, definitely a good signing for us. Another signing was Andre Pickernell, who gets a B rating from the board. Only made 6 appearances, came in as a backup goalkeeper but has a real chance of taking the number 1 position next season from Kanate if he can continue to improve. He has been really good when he's come on in cup games, when he's played a couple of league games. An average rating of 6.13 in his 6 appearances, and was very impressed with him and definitely impressed with how he is developing. Next up, Luke Molyneux, C+ rating from the board. Luke really came in as a backup on the left wing and right wing. Started 13 games, 18 sub appearances, 5 goals, 10 assists and a 7.12 rating. I'm happy enough with him. He was a free signing and yeah, he'd be a good option in the squad for next season, but not a regular starter, that's for sure, but good backup to have in the squad. Next, Greg Sloggett, who came in for a fee of 210,000, but that was to be paid in instalments, so we actually only paid about 86,000 I think this season for him. And a B- rating from the board. I think he really held down that defensive midfielder position and a real improvement on Jack Keeney. 48 starts, 3 sub appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists and a 7.12 rating. A really good signing, I think, and happy with how he got on. Next up, Nico Jones came in on a free from Brentford and really nailed down a starting centre back position. I see the board have given him an A+ rating, yet Cameron, which again gets started the season or signing the season for an A rating. Not sure how that works, but 50 starts this season for Nico Jones and 2 sub appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists and a 6.96 rating. A really good signing and good addition at centre back. Next up, George Gitau signed on a free from Middlesbrough and a B- rating from the board. 32 starts, 12 substitute appearances, no goals, 2 assists and a 6.90 rating. George picked up a lot of injuries at the start of the season, but nailed down that right back spot towards the second half of the season and looks to have that under control ahead of Alex Dunn at the moment. And yet another decent signing, I think. Daniel Steedman came in for 20,000 and an A- rating, 41 starts, 13 sub appearances, 1 goal, 8 assists and a 6.88 rating is a good return for 20,000. And yeah, we might look to improve in that midfield area in the transfer window, but he's definitely been a good addition to the squad in our development. And finally, Gabriel Marino came in on loan from Freiburg and yeah, decent enough, an A+ rating from the board. 9 starts, 18 sub appearances, no goals, 2 assists and 6.79. He was really a good backup to have when Dara Keane left on loan. Won't be staying on to next season, but he definitely gave us options off the bench for the second half of the season. Transfers out, we look at who left. Lorcan Healy left for 75,000 to St Mirren, and he hasn't actually played, don't think for St Mirren yet. Just have a quick look here. No, he hasn't played for St Mirren yet, so probably a sign that we made the right decision to sell him. Another player that left, Serdenyek, went back to the Ukraine and he made 5 appearances at a 7.94 rating, so good to see him doing well. Adam McDonnell went to Bray Wanderers. He made 36 appearances for them this season, done well. Jacob Jones left on a free, 23 appearances in the Welsh League, so he's doing alright. Kabashai, who of course left to go to Dundalk for 54,000, only made 3 starts for them in the season, 2 goals and an assist though, but I think definitely the right decision to move him on. And then a couple of players that left on free transfers: Owen Massey, who was our right back option, went at Lone Town, and Sean O'Reilly, who was a young player in our youth team, went to Shamrock Rovers on a free, but we got some compensation of 1.8 thousand for him. Hasn't made any appearances yet, and we're happy enough to have let him go. In terms of loans out, just a couple of young players went out: Callum Taylor and Sefner, the young striker. Dara Keane left on loan to Shelbourne. It's likely he will leave at the end of the season, as his contract is up and he won't sign a new contract, so he's likely to leave on a free at the end of the season. So let's look at the results of the season, starting with the league. Finished second in the league, ended up 7 points behind Derry, but 8 points clear of St Pat's. Good season for us really. Just fell away in that middle period where Derry took control of the league, but finished second. Our average home attendance was 1,628, that's up slightly I think. And Tommy Lonigan, top scorer with 25 goals, he's also top scorer in the league, so a good season for Tommy that way. A B rating from the board for our league performance and for qualifying for the Europa League. In terms of the Europa League, we were knocked out by Lech Poznan in the third qualifying round. Knocked out in the third qualifying round by Lech Poznan, 2-0 in aggregate. Yeah, got through against Cliftonville, but then couldn't really compete with Lech Poznan. And that's something we're looking on for next season, is to compete more in the Europa League and try and get to that main stage. Conference League, we got back into the league phase, and we've got through the league phase into the knockout, into the playoff for the round of 16, into the knockout stages. B+ rating from the board. Very happy with how we're doing in that. The FAI Cup, of course we won it. B+ rating again from the board. Won it. Key Murphy top scorer with 14 goals in the cup. Really, the cup really helped him find his form. The Leinster Senior Cup, we won it. A C from the board. They don't really care about it, but we did win it. That epic penalty shootout against Shelbourne. But yeah, another trophy. And then the President's Cup at the start of the season, we bet Derry in that, and B- from the board for that. Moments to remember: our biggest win was a 9-1 win in the cup against Mayfield United. That was a game in which Keane Murphy scored 5. That was the start of our cup run, so big win. The match to remember was a 4-0 win against St Pat's, and at the time that was a real huge win. That was when 4 teams looked to be in the title race, and we beat Pat's, who were I think just ahead of us in the table, 4-0. Great performance from us. And the goal of the season goes, strange one because I don't remember it at all, goes to Dylan Duffy in the Leinster Senior Cup game against Bray Wanderers. And sure, we might as well take a look at it and jog my memory on this goal of the season from Dylan Duffy. So here we go. It was a free kick from well out into the top corner, and that's the goal of the season from Dylan Duffy. And I have to say, I don't remember that goal, and I can remember about 3 better goals than that in the season. So there you go. I can remember Keane Murphy chipping a keeper. I can remember Dimitri firing in against Galway from way out. But okay, that's the goal of the season from Dylan Duffy. Right. In terms of the finances of the club, our reputation has stayed exactly the same at 2 stars. Really need to start getting into the Champions League to improve that, I think. No new sponsorship deals, no new sponsorship deals at all. Our sponsorship for the season is actually down from, it was 160,000 last season, it's down to 123,000 this season. So that's disappointing, but everything else is upwards. Broadcast revenue, corporate revenue, prize money and matchday revenue all increasing, which is good to see. And in terms of merchandise, Tommy Lonigan, the biggest seller of jerseys, followed by McGlennon, Murphy, Brennan and Dimitri. So yeah, that's the finances and how our team in the season line up, and overall best 11. We can look at it here. I can see that Keane Murphy is now in it, Dimitri is now in it, McGlennon's now in it, and yeah, Jack Keeney hanging on there, Sam Todd hanging on in it. But yeah, that's our overall best 11. Alec McDonald's still in it. Expect to see that change a lot over the next few seasons. And let's look at some of the awards won this season. Awards won by me, 2 Manager of the Month awards and the Manager of the Year. So that was not too bad. Fans Player of the Year is Keane Murphy. Young Player of the Year is Tommy Lonergan again. I think he's won that 3 or 4 years in a row. Signing of the season, as we said earlier, Cameron Ledwidge. Goal of the season is that memorable strike from Dylan Duffy that I don't remember. Top goal scorer was Keane Murphy with 46 goals in all competitions. Most assists, Conor McGlennon with 21 assists. Most player of the matches went to Conor McGlennon as well with 9. Highest average rating, Keane Murphy with a 7.3. And most passes completed in 90 minutes, Angelo Lamb with 80. And let's look at the record breakers. That is Keane Murphy for most goals in a season, 46. Most goals in a match, 5, both Keane Murphy. Most assists in a season go to Conor McGlennon for his 21. Most clean sheets in a season goes to Kanate for 20. Most player of the match awards is Conor McGlennon's 9. The oldest ever player is Greg Lee at 31. Highest transfer spend is that 210 on Greg Sloggett, and highest fee received is the 75,000 received for Larkin Healy. So there we go, that's the season wrapped up. A quote here saying UCD set the tone early and were able to enjoy a good season as a result. Fair enough. They're showing the 2 trophies again, even though we won 3. And it says they say it's important to get off to a good start, but it rings as true as ever for UCD. And that's true, we did have a good start to the season, but sadly we couldn't keep it up throughout the season. A look there at the dynamic timeline in the game, which is of no interest to me whatsoever. A bit pointless, to be honest. One of the amazing new features in the game, but can't really be bothered by it. So that's the end of season review done, and we just look at how our supporter profile is looking. We can see there's been an increase in Fairweather fans up to 10%, and a drop in the family fans down to 31%. So yeah, no increase yet in the core or the hardcore, or even the casual, which would be good for the attendance. But yeah, our social media following has increased by nearly 7,000. Good to see that sort of growth. Yeah, the fans still looking for players to develop through the youth system, something which we haven't done and they're disappointed about, but we haven't had the quality in the youth team yet. And play possession football, play high tempo football, avoid relegation. Yeah, we can do all that, no bother whatsoever. Looking at the club vision for next season, here we go. It's to play possession football, play high tempo, pressing football, we do that anyway. Work within the wage budget, we can do that, no problem. Be competitive in the Europa League. Yeah, let's hopefully we can be competitive in the qualifiers and hopefully make it through to the league phase of the Europa League for the first time. And the league goal is to qualify for the Europa League. And yeah, well, my goal is to win the league next season. Need to do it. Training facilities improvement will be complete too. And yeah, the board want us to be work towards winning the title in 2029. And to win the title in 2030, I definitely want to be doing that a lot sooner. But we will accept that club vision. That's that done. Squad dynamics update. We have 3 team leaders: Sean Brennan, Jack Keeney and Tommy Lonergan. They are the main men in this squad at the moment. We'll have an end of season team meeting and we'll try and send them off in a positive mood. Let's see what. Yeah, qualify for the Europa League. Oh, they absolutely love that. Exactly the reaction I'm looking for. Yeah, and we'll talk about promises when they're back. They like that too. Thanks everyone. See you after the pre-season. Going to be a very sharp pre-season for us again because of the Conference League knockout playoff being in the middle of it. But that is it for now. That's the squad all off on holiday, and they will be back on the 12th of January for training. It's now the 20th of December, so they're coming back in the new year. Yeah, so that's the end of season wrap up complete, and season 4 is in the books here at UCD. We have had good success this season. Now we've got to go and build on it. And just a quick look at the finances. If we look at the transfer budget, hasn't been set for the new year, but we still have 2.8 million in it from this season. And it says here minimum transfer budget for next season is 1.69 million, and next season's wage budget hasn't been decided yet, but we're well under the 19,000 wage budget at the moment. So we have money to spend this summer and wages to bring in quality players, and now this is the time, I think, to start spending the cash, bring in real quality players, and we've got to close that gap to Derry, and next season's going to be a big one. Got to win the league next season, I feel. It's time to do it. We won it in the first season somehow, a miracle. Now we've finished second 2 years in a row. Time to win a second title here at UCD and get back to the Champions League. If you did enjoy that season wrap up, please drop it a like. It'll help the video to be seen more and to YouTube to show it around more so we can grow the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to join us on this University Challenge and hopefully the journey to Champions League glory one day. And there's a playlist on the channel if you want to catch up on anything you've missed, and it does appear on the screen here at the end. So until we get the pre-season completed, and next episode will be that pre-season wrap up and season preview, please take it easy.